Law firm marketing agencies have one big thing in common with lawyers. The terrible ones give us all a bad name. I'm Mark Homer, author of Online Law Practice Strategies and founder of GNGF. And for today, I've compiled a list of the common issues we've heard law firms have had with their marketing agencies. I then whittled this list down to the top 4 warning signs of a bad legal marketing agency. If you're like most attorneys, you've worked with a few marketing agencies over the course of your career. And unfortunately, if you're like most lawyers, you've probably had some bad experiences. The top 4 warning signs that you can use to sniff out the bad marketers next time they promise the world, you have a hard time getting a hold of them, you're not sure what they're doing, and you're not seeing results. If any of this sounds all too familiar to you right now, use the link in the video description to contact us. We're happy to discuss and audit your agency's current efforts. Now let's dive into each of these warning signs. The first one, they promise the world. Your guard should totally go up when you hear things like, hey, we'll get your website ranked number 1 in 30 days, or we'll get more cases than you know what to do with. How about we can launch your new website in under a week, or for $199, you're gonna dominate Google Ads or Facebook. When I hear some of the things that law firms are promised, I'm shocked that people actually believe it. It reminds me of some advice I recently gave my 16-year-old about this amazing deal he found for a new iPhone that someone was selling for super cheap, Dad. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Legal is one of the most competitive online local SEO marketing industries out there. When it comes to paid advertising, legal keywords are always in the top 5 list of the most expensive ad keywords. On top of that, many firms have been investing in search engine optimization, paid advertising marketing for years. The firms that are at the top of the search engine have spent tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to do the right things to put them at the top of the search engines. While we all love a David and Goliath story, and we all want to think we have stumbled on that perfect deal or that new cool hack, if you fall for some of these crazy promises that sound too good to be true, you might end up with the equivalent of a crappy busted iPhone 6 that my son is now the proud owner of. 1 point for dad advice. The second warning sign, you have a hard time getting a hold of someone. As an agency owner, I have seen many agencies fall into the trap of thinking that in order to scale and remain highly profitable, they have to cut corners on client service. I get it, you get it. We're in service-based businesses. It's not easy. When things get too busy, there's always a risk of not having the time to service all clients effectively. Most of us do the right thing. We invest in additional staff. We invest in the tools and build process to support the additional staff. Doing the right thing results in near-term drag on profit margins for any service-oriented business. However, doing the right thing leads to better client service, which leads to more referrals, better reviews, which leads to more business. Eventually, the profit margins come back and you have a healthy, sustaining business. Therefore, when an agency starts growing too fast and it puts in automated ticketing systems that make it hard to even get an actual person on the phone, you know they're cutting corners to keep profits. If that's what they're doing when interacting with their very important clients, what corners are they cutting behind the scenes with the people who actually provide the strategy, manage the projects, execute on your tasks? To make things worse, we've heard clients tell us that it takes multiple emails and follow-up to get an answer about something as simple as updating an attorney bio. Then the answer they get is that's gonna go in a production queue and it's gonna be done in 4 to 5 weeks. With a well-staffed agency and the right processes and tools, there are not that many requests out of maybe your initial website that's gonna take longer than a week, let alone over a month. If you don't have a dedicated account manager, or you can't get a hold of a contact at the agency, or worse, if you only have access to a support ticketing system, then you need to find a new agency soon. Please use the link in the description and contact us right away. Okay, the third warning sign is that you're not sure what they're doing. We've performed hundreds and hundreds of consultations with law firms over the last 10 years. I always ask these questions. What's your agency working on right now? What's going well? And what do you want to fix? One answer that still shocks me all the time, that too many law firms say they want to fix that they don't know what the agency's even doing. I always respond with, you spend thousands of dollars of your hard-earned money on marketing each month, and your agency hasn't spent any time to review what they're doing and why they're doing it? Not only should you have at least a monthly meeting with your marketing agency, but this meeting should be based on a periodic marketing strategy that's tied to your business goals. What's that, you say? You weren't asked the business goals for your law firm? Well then how the heck are they able to create a marketing plan that works for your goals? No wonder they don't want to get on the phone to review what they're doing and their progress. They haven't spent the time to figure out if it's what's going to help you or not. Now, for the last of the top 4 warning signs of a bad legal marketing agency, you are not seeing any results. Let's say your current agency passes the above 3 criteria. They haven't promised the world to you. You can get a hold of someone you feel can actually impact the marketing tactics. And they took the time to help you understand the marketing tactics they're using to reach your goals. Congratulations, those 3 can take you a long way. But if someone's doing these three things, it can easily become complacent with that agency. But this final warning sign, if after months and months and months of effort, you're still not seeing results, then significant marketing investment is not turning into real results, and thus you're sending money out the door with no benefit. In finance speak, you're not getting a positive ROI or return on your investment. If the goals for your firm are clearly understood, if the agency has created a marketing plan to help you meet these goals, if they have the tracking in place to be very transparent on the progress toward your goals, then it should be extremely clear to both you and the agency when things are not working. If after a few months of not meeting the targets, they're not working with you to adjust their strategy and tactics, that should be a warning sign. Also, be careful on the target measurement. If it's something like number of leads, that number could go up, but they could be the wrong leads for your firm. I often hear, yeah, they sent me 10 more leads the last few months, but most of them were for DUI cases and I'm an accident attorney. Your agency should be working with you to understand the quality of leads that are coming to your firm, how many of those leads are turning into cases, the value of those cases, and which leads were the easiest to turn into cases. In fact, this usually puts work on your firm to track this data internally. Your agency should actually be putting pressure on your firm to track things that can help them adjust and optimize the strategies. Hey, don't kick yourself too hard. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that positive results with fluffy vanity metrics like more traffic, click-through rates, leads are showing that your marketing dollars are working. But the reality is that your agency is not trying to understand what efforts correlate to real results. That means results that match your goals for your firm. Then you're probably due to have a tough conversation with your agency or start looking for another place to invest your marketing budget. If you don't think your agency is meeting the results and goals you have mutually set for your firm, or they haven't even taken the time to understand the real business goals for your firm, then you need to find a new agency soon. Use the link in the description, contact us right away. Please like this video if you liked it, or share it with a law firm colleague. It's super easy. And subscribe to GNGF here if you loved it and want more of the best legal marketing info on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.